IndyCar. Since the inaugural Indianapolis 500 in 1911, the racing series known as IndyCar has changed over the years. In 1955, the United States Auto Club, USAC, took over the sport's management from the American Automobile Association, AAA, which resulted in the introduction of sleek rear-engine cars and turbocharged engines. As the sport grew, cracks started to appear, but the Indianapolis 500 became a global highlight. The formation of championship auto racing teams, CART, in 1979 introduced a variety of races to the sport. But in an attempt to restore the sport's identity, the Indianapolis 500 and CART were split up into the Indy Racing League, IRL, in 1996. The IRL was left to unify the sport under the IndyCar series after CART collapsed in 2003 due to financial strain. Since 2008, IndyCar has been tirelessly working to restore trust and the series' former glory. Because IndyCar employs a spec system, every team utilizes a large identical base car. The Dallara DW12 chassis, which debuted in 2012 and has since been updated with safety features like the Aeroscreen cockpit protector, serves as the foundation for every entry. Power is provided by a 2.2-litre twin-turbo V6 engine from either Honda or Chevrolet, which generates between 700 and 750 horsepower. On road and street courses, push-to-pass technology provides a brief boost. Firestone is the only supplier of tyres, with various compounds designed for road courses, ovals and wet conditions. Even with standardized tyres and chassis, teams can still gain an advantage through strategy, setup and aerodynamic modifications. IndyCar's reputation for tight, unpredictable racing at speeds exceeding 230 miles per hour is maintained by this harmony between standard equipment and engineering freedom. Road or street circuits are measured in time and distance, while ovals are measured in miles and laps. The length of an IndyCar race varies based on the type of track. Races on ovals usually last 200 to 500 miles, with the Indianapolis 500 being the longest and most prestigious at 500 miles. Oval races that are shorter, like those at Iowa or Gateway, typically span between 200 and 300 miles. On the other hand, races on road and street courses are planned to last between 2 and 2.5 hours, with lap counts modified to fit that time frame. Although the majority of races last between 1 and 3 hours, weather, cautionary periods, pit stops and fuel strategy can all affect how long a race lasts, adding to the unpredictable nature of IndyCar racing. NASCAR. NASCAR, a popular motorsport, has its roots in Southern culture and post-war ingenuity. It began in the 1930s and 1940s, when bootleggers modified cars to outrun police while smuggling illegal moonshine. In 1948, Bill France Sr. founded the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, NASCAR, in Daytona Beach, Florida, bringing order, consistency, and legitimacy to loosely organized stock car races. The sport grew quickly, with superspeedways like Daytona International Speedway opening in 1959. By the 1970s and 1980s, NASCAR transformed into a national spectacle, with sponsorship from major brands and television. The Daytona 500 became NASCAR's signature event. In the 1990s and early 2000s, NASCAR expanded to mainstream America with corporate investment, high-profile stars, and expanded schedules. The top level of the sport, the Cup Series, combines high-stakes competition, technology, and tradition. Superspeedways, short tracks, intermediate ovals, road courses, dirt and street circuits, and more are among the many types of tracks that drivers race in during the February through November season. With independent rear suspension, composite bodies, sequential gearboxes, and enhanced safety features, the next-gen vehicle, which debuted in 2022, modernizes the sport. A point system that incentivizes consistency and race wins determines the championship standings. The top 16 drivers make it to the playoffs, where they gain an advantage from their cumulative points. The next-gen car, introduced in 2022, is a modern NASCAR Cup Series car with a 5.86-litre V8 engine, 5-speed sequential gearbox, and a composite body. It features independent rear suspension, 18-inch aluminum wheels, wider Goodyear tires, larger rotors for better stopping power, and safety improvements like reinforced cockpits and crash zones. The symmetrical body design balances tradition and innovation, leveling the playing field and enhancing safety. Two of the series' most dominant drivers in the modern day are Kyle Larson and Joey Logano. Since making his debut in 2013, Larson has racked up 32 wins, 199 top 10s, and a Cup Series title in 2021. On the other hand, Logano has tallied the most Cup titles amongst all active drivers, having won in 2018, 2022, and 2024. In addition, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, which is its second highest tier, is a highly competitive series that serves as a training ground for young drivers aspiring to reach the Cup Series. It features cars that resemble those of the Cup Series, with shorter race distances and a schedule that includes short tracks, intermediate ovals, and dirt events, making them excellent training machines for up-and-coming talent. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, founded in 1995, features modified pickup trucks with shorter race distances and a dedicated fan base. The ARCA Menard Series, established in 1953, is a starting point for young drivers and teams aiming to break into NASCAR's national ranks. Together, these series create a structured developmental ladder for drivers. NHRA. The National Hot Rod Association, NHRA, was founded in 1951 by Wally Parks, who sought to bring order and safety to the raw excitement of drag racing, which until then was often run illegally on public roads. What began as a grassroots movement quickly grew into the world's largest drag racing sanctioning body, introducing standardized rules, organized events, and innovations in safety that helped the sport gain legitimacy. Over time, the NHRA built a competitive ladder that allowed drivers to progress from entry-level racing to the sport's highest stage. At its highest level, the NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series consists of 4 professional classes: the lightning fast Pro Stock motorcycles, the finely tuned Pro Stock cars, also referred to as factory hot rods, and the 11,000 horsepower top fuel dragsters and funny cars, which can reach speeds of over 330 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds. Numerous sportsman divisions, including funny car and top alcohol dragster, bracket racing classes like Super Comp and Super Gas, and conventional stock and super stock cars, which maintain the link to common automobiles, support these. In addition to nurturing fresh talent, this setup guarantees that spectators will see a wide range of vehicles, from almost stock cars to the world's fastest accelerating automobiles. In the NHRA, championships are decided by a season-long point system that rewards qualifying, round wins, and consistency. The number 1 qualifier earns 10 points, with the top 3 runs in each session gaining bonus points. On race day, all qualifiers receive 20 points, and each elimination round win is worth 20, meaning a perfect 4-round victory totals 100 points. Runners-up earn 80, semi-finalists 60, quarter-finalists 40, and first-round exits 20. Marquee events like the US Nationals award 1.5 times points, making them especially critical. After that race, the countdown to the championship resets the top 10 drivers' points, setting up a 6-race playoff where the highest scorer at the season finale in Pomona is crowned world champion. IMSA. Founded in 1969 by John and Peggy Bishop with support from NASCAR's Bill France Sr., the International Motorsports Association, IMSA, was created to bring professional sports car racing to North America. Its golden era came in the 1970s-80s with the IMSA GT Championship, featuring Porsche, BMW, Jaguar, and later prototypes from Nissan and Toyota at iconic races like Sebring and Daytona. After decline in the 1990s, IMSA was revived when the ALMS and Grand AM merged in 2014 to form the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, which now blends top-level prototypes like LMDH and LMH with GT cars. Today, IMSA stands as North America's premier sports car series, aligned with FIA and ACO standards and connected to global endurance events such as Le Mans. At the top are the GTP Grand Touring prototype cars introduced in 2023, which include both LMDH, Le Mans Daytona Hybrid, and LMH, Le Mans Hypercar machinery. These cars represent the pinnacle of technology in IMSA, using hybrid powertrains that combine a manufacturer's internal combustion engine, typically V6, V8 or turbocharged units, with a standardized hybrid system. They produce around 670 horsepower, weighing roughly 1,030 kilograms or 2,270 pounds, and can reach speeds over 200 miles per hour. Manufacturers currently competing include Cadillac, Acura, BMW, Porsche, and Lamborghini, with Ferrari and Toyota joining globally under the same regulations. Below them, LMP2 prototypes, powered by a Gibson 4.2-litre V8 engine, are privateer-run cars designed for competitive racing at a lower cost. In addition, the GT Daytona Pro and GT Daytona GTD categories use GT3 specification cars, with manufacturers like Porsche, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Lamborghini, Corvette, BMW, Lexus, and Mercedes-AMG competing. GTD Pro teams field all professional drivers, while GTD requires a mix of professionals and amateurs. In the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, titles are decided by a point system that rewards race results, qualifying, and endurance performance within each class: GTP, LMP2, GTD Pro, and GTD. A win is worth 350 points, second 320, third 300, fourth 290, and fifth 280, with smaller drops further down the field, while pole positions earns 35 bonus points. Endurance races like Rolex 24 at Daytona and 12 Hours of Sebring also award Michelin Endurance Cup points at set intervals, emphasizing consistency as well as finishing results. At season's end, the highest scoring drivers, teams and manufacturers in each class are crowned champions, making both speed and reliability essential to success. World of Outlaws Sprint Cars Championship. Established in 1978 to bring dirt track racing together under a single national banner, the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Championship is the pinnacle of winged sprint car racing. Sprint cars are lightweight, compact vehicles with enormous downforce from their oversized wings, which enable them to race around dirt ovals at over 140 miles per hour. These are produced by 410 cubic inch V8s that fork out around more than 900 horsepower. Since the championship hosts between 80 and 90 events annually throughout the United States, consistency is just as crucial as raw speed. World of Outlaws sprint car races are lap-based, not distance-based, typically ranging from 25 to 40 laps, about 10 to 20 miles, with major events reaching 50 laps, around 25 miles. Heat races and qualifiers are shorter, usually 8 to 12 laps. Races are fast-paced, often finishing in 10 to 15 minutes. The World of Outlaws point system rewards both participation and success. A feature win is worth 150 points, with second earning 146, third 144, and positions dropping in 2-point steps to 24th with 102. All others who start receive 90. Bonus points are awarded for qualifying, heat wins, and laps led, often deciding close title fights. At season's end, the highest scorer is crowned champion, a distinction earned by legends like Steve Kinser, Donny Schatz, and Brad Sweet, reflecting the difficulty of prevailing in such a long competitive season. AMA Motocross Championship. The AMA Motocross Championship is the premier professional motocross series in the United States, sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association (AMA) and promoted by MX Sports Pro Racing. It began in 1972, growing out of the motorcycle boom of the late 1960s and early 70s, and has since become one of the most prestigious dirt bike racing championships in the world. Unlike Supercross, which is held in stadiums, AMA motocross races take place on outdoor, natural terrain tracks, often featuring long laps with rugged dirt, big elevation changes, and rough, unpredictable surfaces. The championship typically runs from late spring through summer, visiting iconic venues like Red Bud, Hangtown, and Unadilla. Races are divided into two main classes: the 450 class, featuring the most powerful bikes and top riders, and the 250 class, which is considered the proving ground for younger talent. Each event is made up of 2 motos races per class, and overall event results are determined by combining a rider's finishes across both motos. The point system is straightforward. In each moto, first place earns 25 points, second gets 22, third 20, fourth 18, and then descending down to 1 point for 20th place. Because every moto counts equally, consistency is crucial. One bad race can derail a championship campaign. At the end of the season, the rider with the most cumulative points in each class is crowned AMA Motocross Champion. Legends such as Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, Ryan Dungey, and Eddie Tomac have all left their mark on the championship, which continues to be the ultimate test of endurance, speed, and skill on outdoor dirt tracks. Moto America. Moto America has served as the top level of two-wheeled circuit racing since its launch in 2015. It was founded when former world champion Wayne Rainey, alongside the Crave Group, took over promotion of the AMA Superbike Championship with the goal of revitalizing American motorcycle racing and creating a clearer path for riders to reach the world stage in MotoGP and World Superbike. The series features multiple classes, headlined by Superbike, which showcases the fastest, most advanced production-based motorcycles. These superbikes are heavily modified versions of street-worthy bikes from manufacturers like Yamaha, Suzuki, Ducati and Kawasaki, with engines producing well over 200 horsepower and capable of speeds exceeding 190 miles per hour. Supporting categories include Super Sport, middleweight 600cc base bikes, stock 1000, more lightly modified liter bikes, Twins Cup, smaller twin-cylinder machines, and the Junior Cup, entry-level racing on smaller 400cc bikes for young riders. Championships are decided through a point system similar to international motorcycle racing. Riders earn 25 points for a win, 20 for second, 16 for third, and so on down to 1 point for 15th place. The rider with the most points at season's end in each class is crowned champion. Moto America has steadily grown in stature, helping launch US riders back into global competition while also attracting international stars. With a mix of high-tech superbikes, accessible feeder classes, and events at legendary tracks like Laguna Seca and Road America, it stands as the heartbeat of American road racing. GT World Challenge America. The GT World Challenge America is a premier sports car racing series in the US, sanctioned by the SRO Motorsports Group and organized by SRO America. Originally known as the Pirelli World Challenge before being rebranded in 2019, the series focuses exclusively on GT3 specification cars, high-performance production-based machines that are also used in international championships like the 24 Hours of Spa and the Intercontinental GT Challenge. GT World Challenge America showcases cars from manufacturers such as Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes-AMG, Lamborghini, BMW, Acura, and Aston Martin. These GT3 cars are equipped with advanced aerodynamics, ABS brakes, and traction control, typically producing 500 to 600 horsepower while still maintaining close visual ties to their road-going counterparts. The race format emphasizes teamwork and endurance. Events usually consist of two 90-minute races per weekend, with each car shared by two drivers who must swap during a mandatory pit stop. Driver pairings are categorized by experience levels: professional, pro, silver or amateur, AM, and championships are rewarded in pro, pro-am and AM classes, ensuring competitive balance across the grid. Points are awarded based on finishing positions, following the FIA standard scoring system: 25 points for a win, 18 for second, 15 for third, and so on down to 1 point for 10th place. Across the season, consistency is as important as outright speed, with titles decided in each driver and team category. By bringing together top-level machinery, multi-class racing, and a global connection through the GT World Challenge Series in Europe, Asia, and Australia, GT World Challenge America stands as the United States' flagship championship for GT3 racing, combining world-class cars with the intensity of sprint endurance competition. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you'll certainly have a good time with that one too, because in that video, I explain all major racing series across the world. See you next time.